It's from the Daily Wire. Bill Maher rips old Twitter, mocks Trudeau, and gives a shout out to the Babylon Bee. And I was watching this clip from Bill Maher when he was talking about Elon Musk and the purchasing and everything. And it made me realize what's happening with the establishment, what's happening with, Elon. The boomer generation, they consume their news through cable television. This is why there are so many people who are like, Tucker Carlson's far right, because these are older people who are only getting their news from CNN and MSNBC. And then Fox News is like the other side. So there's like 3 channels. But most of us, and the people our age, are on Twitter, are on Facebook, or on YouTube. So we're getting a big spattering of all this different news, but it's coming really quickly. I saw this, and Bill Maher, his confusion like a doddering old man. And I was just like, wow. I think it's fair to say one day we will all be old and confused. But Bill Maher, he doesn't need to be. So watching this, here's what happens. Bill Maher says, did you hear about this Babylon Bee? It's Christian satire. Everybody laughs. And then his guest goes, oh, yeah, because we need that. And Bill goes, well, maybe some people do. I'm not everybody. Some people do need it. And then I'm watching that and I'm like, Bill, did you not Google search this story when it happened? Are you just now finding out after Elon already bought Twitter what the Babylon Bee is? And I wondered why it is. Well, CNN won't report on what the Babylon Bee is.
No.
So for someone like Bill Maher, who's a 60-year-old boomer, who gets his news from the New York Times physical paper edition and from cable television, he just now found out about the Babylon Bee. It was March 20th. Elon was like, should we have free speech and stuff like that? That he was asking these questions, that the Babylon Bee was in the news. And we were all watching in real time this progress of Elon Musk and Bill Maher, one of the most prominent shows. He's confused and just now finding out about this.
Isn't a show called Real Time?
Yeah,
he finds out like a month later.
But I'm not trying to rag on him. I think it's just, you got to point out that he's in a different world.
Who's his boss?
Well, look, he's in a different world. And now think about what that means for every other news story. Think about what that means for Hunter Biden's laptop. Think about what that means for Epstein. All of these boomers, they vote. And they're like, they mostly vote. They're like, they vote way more than young people. And they don't know half of what we know. They don't know a tenth of what we know. Because we all saw the Epstein story in real time. And Bill Maher probably never saw it. I mean, I'm being hyperbolic, but Bill Maher probably sees it a month later and he's like, what's going on with this? And it's like, Bill, that was a month ago.
Yeah, it seems like it's like a safety mechanism to wait to let the news out a month later, like the Hunter Biden laptop thing. They wanted to just hold it for a month. Granted, it was right before the election.
Well, it was the election. Yeah. That was how to.
But once it's a month late, it just doesn't have the fire. It doesn't have the heat. Like the iron's no longer hot.
Bill Maher has called out the woke. He's criticized this stuff. The fact that he's done that, I think, shows he's willing to. But he's like an old man who's looking at his phone being like, I can't press the button. And it's like, he's just not on these platforms.
He works for Warner Brothers.
Yeah. He even said, I've heard him say, he's like, there's only so much I can really get away with. I have corporate, my giant corporation writes my check.